Hi guys and welcome. There are ratios between the ages of Ollie, Denise, and Gams as shown. It asks, if Ollie is 5 years younger than Denise, how old is Gams? Alright, now, pay attention. Denise is common in both equations, but in one, it's given as 4, and in the other, as 5. What should you do? You will expand both ratios using Denise as the base, by finding the least common multiple of 4 and 5. We can do this at 20. So, let's multiply the first equation by 5 and the second equation by 4. Now look, here's what we get. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 4 is 20. In the second equation, 5 times 4 is 20. 6 times 4 is 24, guys. Alright, now we're done with these. Pay attention, now Ollie's age will be equal to 15 or a multiple of 15. Denise's age, friends, will be equal to 20 or a multiple of 20. And Gam's age will be 24 or a multiple of 24. Are we good? Alright, now you're done with 4 and 5. Look, I've picked a number. Awesome, now, let's continue. Ollie, Denise, and Gams. Ollie's age, friends, is 15 or a multiple of 15. Denise is 20 or a multiple of 20. Gams is also 24 or a multiple of 24. Now it says that Ollie is 5 years younger than Denise. Okay. Denise is 20 years old. Sorry, 20k years old. So if Ollie is going to be 5 years younger, what will 20k minus 5 be equal to? To Ollie's age. Okay. Now, if you move 15k to the other side as minus 15k, you'll have 5k left here. And we moved the minus 5 to the other side as positive, so plus 5. So the value of k is 1 here, friends. Awesome! They were asking for Gam's age, right friends? Well, I said 24k. So if I substitute 1 for k, Gams will be 24 times 1, which means she is 24 years old. Hello guys, for real numbers x and y, we've been given an equation like this, and they're asking us for the ratio of x to y. Now, when we look at the question, it seems like we have no other option but to find a common denominator here, guys. So look, you multiply x plus y by x, and you multiply x by x plus y. What am I going to do? Let's quickly use this method to find a common denominator together. Look, we multiplied x minus. Let's write it like this. X squared minus x minus y. Look, I wrote this down. I'm multiplying by this. We put x plus y in parentheses and divide. I multiplied by x minus. X squared plus x times y equals negative 4. Guys, look, what do we have here? The difference of two squares. How do you write it? We write it as x squared minus y squared. Now, let's continue from here. X squared minus, it was the difference of two squares, friends. I'm writing it in parentheses. X squared minus y squared. We wrote it nicely like this. What did we have here? X squared plus x times y equals negative 4. Now, let's distribute the negative sign here nicely, friends. There was also a sign in front of this. Let's show that too. X squared minus x squared plus y squared over x squared plus x times y, friends. This is also equal to negative 4. Now, these x squared terms cancel each other out. Let's continue from here like this, friends. Let's do a cross multiplication here. Look, y squared equals. I'm multiplying by negative 4. Negative 4x squared minus 4 times x times y. Let's take this and move it to this side. Y squared equals. Sorry, we were supposed to move it to the other side. Y squared. Guys, look, what will happen with the negatives? It will change sign. Plus 4xy plus 4x squared is equal to 0. What are we going to do here? We'll factor it, friends. Look, this is y times y. This is 2x times 2x. What came? Y plus 2x squared. Isn't it a perfect sum of squares? Equals 0. So guys, if y plus 2x is equal to 0, what will be the value of y if we send it this way? Minus 2x. Yes, we know y now. What did he want from me? Friends wanted the x divided by y ratio. Look, I'm showing it here. X divided by y. We have an x up there. If I write minus 2x instead of y, look, the x's cancel out, and we get 1 from here. So what is this ratio? It will be minus 1 over 2, friends. Hello, friends. For real numbers a, b, and c, we are given 3 equations. In this case, They are asking what the product of A, B, and C is. Alright, now, I've brought two expressions over here. Let's show it in a more convenient space. Pay attention to the third equation, friends. There are A and C, okay? So, I'm going to try to isolate A and C here. I think we can find it if we add them side by side. Now, let's multiply the expression above by -1 and see what happens. A negative by a positive negative. A negative by a negative positive. A negative by a positive negative. Okay, plus B and minus B are gone now. They're cancelled out. What do we have left here? C minus A. I'm subtracting 3 from 5, that's negative. Subtracting 3 from 5, we get -2. Great. Now, if we arrange the third equation, we'll need to equalize the denominators, okay? Let's show it like this. We multiply 1 by C, that's C. We multiply 1 by A, that's A. The operation between them is negative. We've placed it. I multiplied A and C. A times C equals B over 4. Well, great. Look, we found C minus A to be -2. So the value here is -2. What is -2 equal to now? To B. So, the value of B is -2, friends. And the product of A and C is 4. Alright, nice. Look, don't they want the product of A, B, and C? Then B was -2, and the product of A and C was 4. -2 times 4 will be -8. Hello guys. A, B, and C are 3-digit numbers, and AA is a 2-digit number. We are given two equations involving these. In this case, they're asking what is the ratio of the number ABC to the number AA. Alright. Now, let's start with the first equation. Here, I'm going to use the rules of ratio and proportion, friends. For example, what does that mean? A here can be 1 or a multiple of 1. And B, friends, can be 4 or a multiple of 4, okay? Now, in the second equation, the sum of B and C is given as 14. Now, since I said B is 4K, it has to be 4 or a multiple of 4. If I say 4K, friends, for the total to be 14, C would have to be 10K, right? But we can't write something like that. Look, A, B, and C are digits of a 3-digit number, so they have to be single digits. 10, on the other hand, is a number, so, look, I didn't take that. Alright, that's out. Now, since we said it has to be 4 or a multiple of 4, if it's not 4, I'll take 8K. Look, I took twice as much. In this case, please pay attention here as well. I also need to increase K. That will be 2K as well, okay? Because I expanded this, so I needed to expand this one too. Now, if I write 8K wherever I see B, I'm starting from here. Pay attention. Plus. So, friends, in order for the total to be 14, you can write 6K instead of C so that it adds up to 14, okay? That's it. The question is already done. Now let's get started, guys. So B will be 8. C will be 6, and A will be 2, friends. So, 286 divided by the number in the denominator, which will be 22, friends. If you simplify, you'll find that our value here is 13. That's it. Hello everyone, and welcome. 70% of the students in a class are girls. It asks, if 25% of the boys do not play soccer, what is the ratio of the number of boys who play soccer to the number of girls? The main point of the question is this: the ratio of the number of boys who play soccer to the number of girls. Let's show it like this. Let's get started now. First of all, friends, let's say the total number of students in the class is 100x, okay? Let's use whole numbers. If 70% of 100x are girls, then 70x will be the number of girls for us. The remaining 30x will be the number of boys for us. Great. Now it says that 25% of these boys do not play soccer, guys. Now, it's asking for the ratio of the number of boys who play soccer, right? Yes, if 25% don't play soccer, what percent do play? 75%, right? So, 75% of 30x. That's the number of boys who play soccer. Let's tidy this up a bit. Let's divide by 25, so we get 3. I divided by 25 and got 4. Now, I multiplied 3 by 3 here. 9. 90 divided by 4. What did this become? This became the number of boys who play soccer. Let's continue like this, friends. We were going to set up a ratio. 90 divided by 4. Divided by, friends, how many girls are there? It was 70x. Let's write 70 from there. Now, you write the first fraction as it is, and flip the second fraction and multiply. Let's say times 1 over 70. Let's divide by 10 here, so it becomes 9. Divide by 10, and we get 7. Let's arrange it like this. 9 times 1 is 9. 7 times 4 is 28. So this ratio will be 9 over 28.